Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed. In today's C# lesson, we're going to talk about inheritance and writing to a file and reading from a file. Let's begin. Okay guys, let's start with the inheritance part. For this, I'm just gonna write some examples. So, let's begin. I'm just gonna create two classes, one for student and one for teacher. And I'm gonna ask for their name, age, and ID. And for the teacher part, I'm gonna ask for them to grade the student. So basically, I'm gonna ask for the grade. But this is only for the teacher class. So let me just write here, ask for their string name, int age and ID, console write line, what is your name, and I'm gonna get that name and assign to my name variable, not write line, read line. Then I'm just gonna copy this. This is for the age, this is for the ID. And of course I need to convert this to integer. I can actually copy and paste this and just change this to ID. Now, I need to create two more classes, right? One for the student and one for the student. I mean the teacher. Again, I'm just gonna come here and write add class. Let's just say student and for the teacher. Now, I'm gonna create three methods for the name, age, and ID, guys. So I'm just gonna write public string. Actually, let's just say void, so we can just console write. We can just console write from here and print it out from this student class. I'm not gonna return any values. I'm just gonna print those out. Public void. What is the student gonna have? Name, age, and ID, right? So public void name. Then I'm just gonna write console write, and of course I need to give this a variable. Let's just say name or underscore name. So it's going to be console write line. Your name is underscore name, right? It's going to be the variable or the value that I'm gonna give from my program class. Now I'm just gonna copy this and paste this 3 times or 2 times basically. Then just gonna say underscore age and change this to int underscore ID, and of course age and ID. Your age is underscore age, your ID is underscore ID. Okay, now what do we have here? We have 3 methods for the student class. Now I'm just gonna print my age, name, and ID values here. How can I do that? To do that, I need to write set or basically create an student object, right? So let's create one. Let's just say student std1 new student. So I'm just gonna write std1. As you can see, we have all of the methods here. I'm just gonna say name and send my name variable from here. And actually I can write that in my console write line command, so I can print that out. Or actually no, we are printing out from the student class. Okay, I just need to call these things. Let's just call it 3 times for the age and ID, and write age and ID here. Now when I try to execute my program, you're going to see my name here. Okay, I forgot to change this. What is your age? What is your ID? That's my name, Ahmed, age 22, ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, whoops, I forgot to write console read line at the end. Okay, let's do it again. 22 and my ID. And as you can see, what do I have here? I have my I have my name, I have my age, and I have my ID, right? Now, what do I want? I want to write all of these in my teacher and add something which is going to be called grade value, grade method, I'm sorry, for the teacher class, right? But writing all of these name, age, and ID is irrelevant right now. Why is that? Because I have all of these in here. So I want to use all of the students methods in my teacher class. So basically I want to inheritance those methods. How am I going to do that? To do that, I just need to click here. Again, I need to put a column here, then write my student class name. So basically I need to write student here. And in this way, this teacher class right now inherited all of these methods. So basically I can use all of these methods in my teacher class. And I'm actually just going to create my grade method here too. Let's just say int grade and write int underscore grade for the inputs. And let's just say your grade is plus underscore grade. Okay, there we go. What did we just create it? Why am I getting an error here? Oh, okay, I forgot to change to void. Okay, what did we create here? We create an extra method from comparing to the student class, which is that it's the int grade, basically public void grade method. So I can just come here, create an object for my teacher class. Let's just say teach1, and call the student methods from my teacher class. So let me just say teach1, and when I put the point here, we are going to see age, ID, and name, which are those from the student method, guys. So I can easily click those and print those out. Let me just copy this. For the age, for the ID, and of course for my grade. But of course I do not getting the grade input. Let's just get that as well. What's your grade? Okay. Now what are we getting? We are getting three methods, or basically we are putting three inputs and getting three methods from the student class. And as you can see, when I try to get the grade method from the teacher, I couldn't get it. Why is that? Because the teacher class inheriting methods from the student, not the other way around. Don't forget that. Then I try to get my grade method from teacher. As you can see, it didn't even pop up from here. It just says age, ID, and name methods from the student class. So let me just execute my program now. What's your name? Let's put those inputs again. And as you can see, it's going to ask for my grade now. Let's just say 100. And as you can see, I have basically two inputs right there. One from the student class and one from the student combined with the teacher class. Basically, teacher inherited all of the students' methods. Only this comes from my teacher class originally, technically. And basically that was it, guys. While putting column and the class name that you are going to inheritance from, you are going to get teacher class inherited methods from the student class. And now let's move on to our next topic, which is reading from a file and writing to a file. Now guys, to write something to a file or read something from the file, we have to create the object from a special class. But first I need to add some library so we can use that class. I'm just gonna add here using system IO, which means input and output. Now I can use my special class, which is called, let me just close this, which is called stream writer, guys. This stream writer class will allow us to write something to file, write some text to file. So let me just write my object name. Let's just say file. Then of course I need to create new stream writer. Then I'm just gonna put my file extension here. So basically I'm just gonna create some file in my D method, or in my D driver, not method. Then let's just say file txt. So now I just created file object and created a file txt in my D driver. Then I'm just gonna write something to it. How am I just gonna write? If you remember, what code did we use to write something on our console? We write console write line, right? We just write console write line and something else, some text in those parentheses. Now I'm not gonna write console write line. I'm gonna write my stream writer's object's name. So basically I'm just gonna write file write line. When I try to write file write line here, this string, it's going to print Ahmed in my file txt in my D driver. So actually I'm just gonna write hello world first. Then let's just say welcome to our C# courses. Then when I finish my writing, I need to close this file, or basically finish my writing. So I need to write file close, nothing else. Then I'm just gonna execute my command. Then I'm just gonna go to my D file txt here. And as you can see, what do I have here? I have my file txt, and as you can see, it says hello world, welcome to our C courses. Then again, let's update those file write line commands so we can see the new result of it. So let's just say, is it working? Then start my command again. Then go to my, of course this is not updated yet. Go to my file txt again, and as you can see, it says is it working now, guys. So this was our writing part. Let me just put those under a comment section, then continue with the reading part. So for the reading part, firstly I need to create a string variable. So why am I creating a string variable? Because I want that string variable to have the value of my first line in the file text. We are gonna read those file text comments. So I want this first line to be in that string line. So basically I'm just gonna create string line. This string variable will have the value of my file txt's first line. So I'm just gonna create another object from a special class which is called stream reader now. While writing we are writing writer, while reading we are creating stream reader part. So let's just say egg file again and new stream reader. Then I can just copy this because I want to read my file txt. Then I want to read from this file, then assign that value to my line, right? So I'm basically just gonna do that. I'm just gonna read from that file. Instead of writing console read line, what I'm going to write? I'm going to write file read line because I want to read from my file now. Then I'm just gonna check if the reading of my file is done or not. Basically I'm just gonna check if I read all of the things in my file txt or not. So to do that, I'm just gonna create a loop and say if my line hasn't become a null value. So basically how is it going to become a null value? When I read all of the file txt. So I'm just gonna write that. I'm just gonna write line isn't equal to null. Basically that's it. Then I'm just gonna print those lines out, right? Just say console write what? Write my line like this. Then I need to do what now? I need to update my line, right? So how am I going to do that? I want to, or basically I need to read the file read line again, right? So basically I'm just gonna copy this and paste this again. I'm reading the first line, I'm printing that line out, then I'm reading the next line, then again I'm printing that out from here. This loop continues until line has no value. Then of course what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write console read line so we can see the result. Then I'm going to execute my command. And when I try to execute my command, as you can see, hello world, this is our first line. Welcome to our C# courses, this is our second line. And actually, let's just do that. Again, as you can see, this is our first line, this is the second line, and this is the third line of our file.txt file. So, this was it for today, guys. This was it for our Steam writer and reading part. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in our next C# lesson. Goodbye.